Welcome to the Kingsport Memorial, right here under construction as we speak. I'm Martha Beverly with the City of Kingsport, and my special guest is Jim Irwin, who is the chairman of this great effort. And Jim, thank you for being here today, and we want to give the citizens of Kingsport kind of a tour and an update of where we are with this fantastic undertaking that I know you've been working on for about 3 years.
3.5 years.
So tell us a little bit about the history of how this all came about and how it ended up with Kingsport Tomorrow.
Sure. Started with a grassroots committee meeting in August of 3.5 years ago, and Kingsport Tomorrow was sort of picked to take this project on, and then from there it just grew. We've got a committee of about 30 people, veterans, non-veterans, just citizens that wanted to do something for the city, and it's been a great committee, and we've worked hard, gone out raising money, and here's the fruits of our labor right here.
This is an incredible statement to your all's efforts, and I know Kingsport has just longed for a monument of this type. Right. Now, I know the construction here has been undergoing for several months, and tell me a little bit about how much it's costing and how much we still need to raise.
Well, the total figure is $851,000, and we're still just a little over $200,000 short, but we're going ahead and do it. We're doing this on faith.
Well, I know we talked about going ahead and getting it started for the community, and I know I drive by here every day. We're, of course, on Fort Henry Drive, and drive by here every day going back and forth to work, and it's been so exciting watching it go up. And I think as the citizens and just standing here today, it just gives you goosebumps at how awesome this is going to be when it's all said and done. So tell us a little bit about the granite. How much granite is here that we're standing on, and all of the monuments behind us?
Well, the granite, there's approximately 550,000 pounds of granite. Wow. The black granite that you see behind us came from Africa. The red granite which are the pavers, came from India, and the granite for the flooring for the plaza and the walkways came from Elberton, Georgia, from Lexington blue granite. But these monuments there's 6 of these, and they're for each of the wars from World War I through the present war. We started with World War I because that's when Kingsport was incorporated in 1917, and that was when World War I. So, and you'll see that World War II has 2 because World War II had 2 theaters of war. So the South Pacific and Europe and North Africa, and that's the reason we have these 2, and it goes into Korea, Vietnam, and in the present Afghanistan and Iraq.
So the names that appear on this granite are Kingsport people, I understand.
World War I, World War II were people that enlisted from the greater Kingsport area. And as you go up, these Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq are people that live in Kingsport. So that's where the names came from. It took over 1.5 years just to get the names.
Just to verify those names. I know that's awesome. And also I know that everybody is touched in some way or another by someone who has either served in the military or lost their lives. I personally have got several family members who've retired in the military and served in Vietnam, Korean War. And I know that, and I was fortunate enough that everyone is still living and survived, and my friends who did serve. And so I know that there were some plaques that were sold, and I think that was the red granite that you were talking about. So let's take a tour, and we'll go down and we'll show what has been sold and what is the contributions that were made for people in honor of those who are still living and veterans. Jim, we are now down here standing at this red granite that you mentioned earlier, and all of this red granite is going to be installed on each side, as I understand, of the Walk of Honor. But tell us about all of these fantastic people and names that are on here and how this red granite came about.
Well, like I said, the red granite came from India, and the pavers are individual pavers, but it's one solid piece of granite, and they look like individual pavers. These were bought by family members for presents or in memory of people. This one is for folks that are still alive, still in the military. There are some here that have passed away. Like here's one that was killed in Guam in 1944, and you've got World War I, You've got a gentleman that was in the Bataan Death March, so he was a POW. Not many of those people are around now.
Now I understand there's even one here with your name on it in your honor, back here somewhere on the one of the granite pieces.
One of mine in my family, my dad, my wife, and a son, and some friends, my stepfather, and so we tried to place them. If people wanted their paver with somebody else, that was one of the things that we really tried to do, is to put people together. There's families together. There's one family of 13 that are together. So
that just again reinforces the impact that the veterans have had, and how many people have served, and what families have been impacted from the various militaries. Tell us what the 16, the Roman numeral 16 there stands for.
Each of the there's 36 slabs of granite, and each one of them will have a Roman numeral on it. That'll be the way that the people, when they come in, they'll know what slab their loved one's on, or their paver, and they'll be able to go to that. When we have the dedication, we will hand out cards that'll give them the slab number, the row, and the column, and that way they can go straight to it instead of having to look at everything.
For it. Well, that'll be great. And as we kind of continue to talk, you said all these are going to go down the Walk of Honor. Let's take Kingsport and show them the Walk of Honor, and show them where this is going to be. And because all we're about today is to kind of bring Kingsport up to date on what's going on with the Veterans Memorial.
I'm ready.
Jim, as we kind of continue our tour here of the Veterans Memorial, and all the construction's going on behind us, and the saws are going, and everything is just really great. And this is the Walk of Honor that we talked about a few minutes ago. And of course, right here where we're standing is where the red granite pieces will go. But tell us about what these guys are working on here. Down the middle.
This is the Walk of Honor. Like you said, the pavers will be on either side. They'll be at about a 30-degree angle, so this make it like a little valley walking through.
Okay.
And you see that there's names up through here. You've got Saigon, you've got Coral Sea, Anzio, Bloody Ridge. These are different major conflicts from World War I through the present day. Each of these will be found on the backs of the black memorials back there in the maps of the whichever war that it has to go with. So there'll be 52 of these. So this is going to be not only a memorial, but it's also going to be an art history, I guess.
Well, this will be great for people of from a historical value, and in the kids coming, and the school kids, and you can just see the potential unlimited.
Well, I'm really hoping that the school, the history teachers will bring their classes over here if they can. Because, I mean, it's walking history. This is the history of this country, and the history of Kingsport, and this is something that this whole town's going to be very, very proud of. I know our committee is.
So this area right in here will be called the Walk of Honor.
Right. There's this one, and then the one behind us, the plaza, that would have the single flagpole, and then the other one on the other side. It's a total of 222 feet long.
Okay, well, let's go show them where the maps will end up being, and that'll kind of bring everybody up to date.
Sure.
Jim, we're back over here now at the black granite monuments that are kind of the centerpiece for the entire memorial, and we're looking at what is blank right now, and we just walked down through this Walk of Honor. Tell us about what's going to end up on this blank piece right here.
Well, each of the 6 monuments will have blown in the map of the theater of war. So I think this is one of the World War II. So they either have North Africa and Europe, or they have the South Pacific. And if the words that you saw down through the Walk of Honor, say Coral Sea, you'll be able to come over here and you'll find it on the map. So you're walking down the Walk of Honor, you can walk over here and actually see where that. And
then on this side, of course, are the names of
the war dead
people.
War dead.
And then you pointed out a minute ago that each of these monuments have a word on the side.
Right. It's you got valor, duty, honor, country, sacrifice, courage. It's just a military. It's an honor to the military, and an honor to what these guys did. They sacrificed, their family sacrificed, and they were loyal to their country. And the valor, of course, they died for their country. So this monument is the centerpiece. Coming down both walks of honor are honoring these 6 black monuments.
Well, this certainly, I think, will give Kingsport citizens a little bit of an update. And I know you just pointed out here that there's a name on here, Jerry Ketron from World War I, and my next guest is Nina Ketron, and you just pointed out that I think that's her husband's uncle.
Uncle, I believe it is, right.
So, so there are just connections everywhere.
Right.
So, but thank you very much for giving us this tour, and we'll come back and sum it up in a few minutes.
Okay.
I want to talk to Nina Ketron about some fundraising efforts that we're going to do and some opportunities for people, but enjoyed you giving us an update and giving Kingsport an update on the Veterans Memorial right here on Fort Henry Drive in Kingsport.
More than happy to.
Thank you. My next guest is Nina Ketron. Nina, thanks for being here today, and I know you have worked so hard on this committee, and you were just sharing a story with me about how you got involved. Tell Kingsport about how you got involved. I know you're involved in a lot of things throughout the community.
Well, thank you. I really think this sort of, I would say, started with Keith Wilson with Kingsport Times News, because I first became involved when I saw an editorial, and the editorial encouraged people in the community to send a letter in, share their ideas of what might need to be done. And so that was my first involvement, and I was one of the people that did send a letter in.
And the rest is history. You're still here 3 years later. That is great. And speaking of Keith Wilson and the Times News and all the fundraising efforts, tell us about your involvement in fundraising and what we're getting ready to do.
Okay, well, I'm excited because we're going to have Celtic music, bluegrass music, and country music. We're going to have a concert, and it's a benefit for the Veterans Memorial. And the concert is going to be at the Kingsport Renaissance Center Theater, and we appreciate the Kingsport Cultural Arts Division of being a sponsor.
Well, we're glad to help sponsor that. We're just very happy to be providing a space for that, and that'll be November the 15th, I understand, at 7:30.
Yes.
Now, there's going to be 3 groups.
Yes.
And starting off the evening at 7:30 will be
a Celtic band called Fire in the Kitchen.
They're one of my favorites.
Oh, yes. And you know, the Celtic music really goes back to the roots of the music in this area. And also, they play a lot of the Appalachian area music. And then we have one of the finest bluegrass bands that anybody could hear any place, and that's Tennessee Skyline.
And they will be second up in the lineup.
Yes. In fact, they've just recently done a CD that it's a long, long way to the Tennessee line.
And I think during this program you might be hearing a little bit of it, so that'll be special.
That's great, because they wrote the music to this, to the entire CD.
And that's also probably the entire program will be the original music by them, and that'll be great. And then third in the lineup is, you know, kind of saving the best for last, will be your group.
Well, I do play, in one of the groups that I play in is a country band called Golden Strings, and Jim Lane is the leader of the band, and he traveled on the road for 12 years playing music. And his wife, Mary, is a vocalist with the band, and Mary used talent as her singing when she won Miss Tennessee Senior America.
Oh, wow. So that'll be great.
Yes.
So all of this will be at the Kingsport Renaissance Center. So this is an opportunity on November the 15th to hear great music. It'll be a concert that'll just be fantastic. Plus it gives you an opportunity that all of the money, every bit of it, will go to this Veterans Memorial, the completion of it.
Yes.
So you get to hear a concert, plus have your money and a contribution made to the Veterans Memorial. And I know that Jim was saying earlier that we're still about, what, $200,000 short, I believe, on its construction. But as you drive by and as you see the work in progress, it is so exciting that I know everybody in Kingsport will want to jump on the bandwagon with you, Nina, and make a contribution. Tell them how they can make a contribution if they want to right now.
Okay. They can contact Kingsport Tomorrow.
Right, Kingsport Tomorrow, of course, is the major sponsor of the memorial.
You know, write a check out for the Kingsport Memorial, or they also are able to go to Kingsport Tomorrow and buy tickets for the concert, or they can also buy them online through kingsportarts.org. Right,
you can get your tickets kingsportarts.org or at the Kingsport Tomorrow office.
Yes.
and that is for the benefit concert on November the 15th at 7:30 at the Renaissance Center.
Yes.
And
tickets are only $12 for adults, and also for seniors and students, they are $10.
So that'll be a great, and 100% of that money will be going to the Veterans Memorial. And I know there have been several sponsors. I mean, we're honored to be a part of it, and I'll be there that night. But also, there have been a lot of other people who have contributed to the benefit concert as well. And I know all of the musicians, all of you all are donating your time and your efforts and your talents to make this happen.
Yes, and we appreciate Keith Smith, who is an excellent person to do the sound management of his giving of a lot of his time and effort. So we appreciate that.
A great sound guy, and we certainly appreciate all that you've done, Nina. And I know you've contributed even personally, not only your time and your talents and financially to this memorial, and it's just great to have you here today, and we're glad to bring Kingsport up to date on the Veterans Memorial here on Fort Henry Drive. Jim, as we kind of wrap up our tour of the Veterans Memorial, we're kind of standing here in front of the Vietnam Monument, and you were just sharing a story with me about a couple of the guys on here who lost their lives, who you knew personally.
Yeah, this was Buram Wade. He graduated with Jim Henderson, the architect, and I, and he lost his life in Vietnam. And then the other one, Joe Meade,
down here,
went to Dobbins Bennett. He graduated a little after Jim and I did, but we knew him quite well. So that was there's a lot of memories of some of these names. I know when people come in here, there's going to be a lot of tears, a lot of joy, and I see this being something. There'll be people here all the time with hopefully roses and stuff laying at the foot of this stuff, and so this is going to be an awesome place.
Well, it's certainly memories of the people in Kingsport who served and lost their lives, and people who served and can come like you and share some of those memories, and tell us about what we hope will be we know will be the opening dedication of it in November.
Well, if weather permitting and everything, we'll have it dedicated on the 11th of November at 11 o'clock. We're working real hard to have a military flyover. And we hope this place is packed. We're going to close off Fort Henry Drive, and we'll unveil the memorial. We're going to try to keep it shrouded until that day, and we'll unveil it. We'll have the raising of the American flag, and we'll have some patriotic music. And we'll have Commissioner John Keyes from Nashville's coming. He's the governor's representative. He's the director of Veterans Affairs for the state of Tennessee. He's been up once, and he asked to come back. So.
Well, I know we're giving kind of the Kingsport the bird's eye view today, and you do have it kind of roped off with the fence around it, so people can't get here where we're actually standing right now. So they need to put November the 11th on their calendar. Hopefully that will be the grand dedication and the ceremony, and I understand it'll be a gift to the city of Kingsport that the Veterans Committee will be doing.
Right. Well, we're going to give it back to the city. This is a community project that will turn back to the city, and you're right. This is still an active construction site, and we don't want anybody walking in it. So we have the fence around. You're glad to take pictures from outside the fence, but stay outside right now, please.
Okay, and then put November the 11th at 11 o'clock on your calendar, and I think there'll be a luncheon as well honoring the veterans.
Right, there's several local churches and some of the businesses have gone together, and they're going to have a luncheon following the dedication at the Civic Auditorium, and it'll be for the veterans and the veterans' families. Okay. So we're going to make a big day of it.
That'll be a fantastic day on November the 11th, and of course the concert will be November the 15th.
Right.
So the fundraising efforts will continue, and if you want to make a contribution now, just make your contribution through the Kingsport tomorrow.
Right.
And all the monies will go to help complete the construction of the Veterans Memorial, and the concert will benefit it as well. And we'll have the big dedication, and we'll have a big month of November. That'll be a great time, and we certainly appreciate you coming out and showing us. I know the construction crew they took a break while we were filming this, and so they're ready to get back to work, and weather permitting, and they're out here, and come by and wave at them and
blow the horn, wave at them,
blow your horn here on Fort Henry Drive, right here at the Veterans Memorial. And I'm Martha Beverly with the City of Kingsport, and I've been here with Jim Irwin, and we've been showing you giving you an update and showing you through the Veterans Memorial that will be located here and will be dedicated in November, and we certainly hope that you will still have plenty of time to step forward and make your contributions. And thank you very much,
Thank you.
Jim.
Appreciate it. Thanks for everything.
Okay. Thank you.